cop killed his partner. Dirty cops. You know, they don't want you to know that though. And he used Mumia as the fall guy. That's that New Jersey knockoff, them Canadian geese. That's the side of Shakur, T-neck flip off New Jersey on the Black Girl Magic. I'm ready to come home. Wrap this stuff up. I'm working on it, Asada. I'm working on it. This Malachi thing is heartbreaking though. For somebody to put that much work in to wake their people up, and they the ones that they love the most betray them. That's painful to watch. It's painful to observe, and it's painful to review for the people to know what's going on the land. Like that's hurtful. Anybody that care about the suffering of others looking at this would be disgusted, ready to puke. It's a whole lot of them we infiltrated. We infiltrated. Look, I'm growth and development. I'm under Larry Hoover. I'm trying to give aid and assistance to a fellow comrade in the struggle, Malachi York, and I don't know what that's wild. Yeah, Rashad, he part of the program. See, this why I keep telling y'all, watch the chain reaction. Cause what's gonna get Rashad out is when the setup come out. How they played that setup to sacrifice him for somebody else to have a music career. And like, we not gonna see this. Right? And so remember this, self-sacrifice is the highest form of sacrifice. In order to do the most good, sometimes you got to endure the most suffering. No, there's not two of me. It's just one of me. But I be moving like a team, so people be thinking there's more than one of me, but it's just me. I just be moving like that. And it's the reason why I be trying to avoid public functions as much as possible, because I'm watching how this system move, right? And what we seeing going on, wow. As you talking about, Bobby, you talking about his son that turned out not to be his? You talking about that baby mama? And the brother said I seen his baby mama get a GoFundMe for $100K. I know that ain't 100 million K. It gotta be 100K. Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. Hey, take me a picture and send it to me on my inbox. That's a receipt. Look, these people is sacrificing people. Using the alchemical law of equivalent exchange, they was using righteous people to sacrifice in order for wicked people to reap the rewards of their wickedness at the expense of the suffering of the righteous. Y'all gotta remember that. But watch the chain reaction. Diddy ain't going down. He's finna expose something. In the chain reaction, one of the people that is going to be exposed gonna blow y'all mind. Because we didn't had words. And the sacrifice had to be repeated to find out if it was valid. And show as poop stank. They turned around and tried the same MO And it didn't work. It didn't work. And the soldier, Big Mama sent in there, her celebrity mirrors WWE Jade Cargill. When you watch her, you see how the girl moving on the spiritual realm. Then you will see why the moves is being made. But you got to put the pieces together from there. I can't tell you everything. But I can give you a clue to let you follow a lead and give you the opportunity to see what I see. And once you begin to see what I see, you will realize that the separation is not even 6 degrees, more like 3. Because somebody was a procurer and they stole the wrong person's name and they got put on blast on the halls of shame. Now, I'm surprised that this magazine cover story ain't blowed up yet. But remember, everybody that claim to be a reporter is not a reporter. Some people use press passes in order to get access to celebrities in order to do human trafficking. Yep. That baby, that Carter girl. They say that's Tupac's daughter that they kidnapped when she was young in order to traffic her. I don't know if it's true, but yeah, her name Ali Carter, I think. But that's the kind of stuff they do to the chosen heirs. If they know you're a chosen heir, go, if you want to know about Hov, go get that 444 album and listen to it. He's telling you something, right? He's telling you where the keys at. He's telling you 444 mean the angel on the post, right? He's telling you something. Yeah. That's heartbreaking what that girl been through, but she ain't lying. Everything she said. Oh, well, it wasn't an official COINTELPRO operation. It was a sacrificial industry operation, but it was created years ago, the template by COINTELPRO on the sacrificing of the artists for the other artists. If you want to see, all you got to do is watch how the industry works. They always sacrifice one artist before they inflate another one up in a place. And that's so that they can't outsell the new artists. They also got something that they call shelving, where they take a guy like Rakim or Black Thought and then sign him, and then they'll never let him make an album, but then they'll go put out somebody else that don't have half of the talent or skill set. And then they will put the promotional machine behind them so that you would think that this is the best that hip-hop have to offer. No. Brother Jay, go listen to Brother Jay. He's telling you your African root science in song and lyric. Go listen to Rakim. He's telling you the 5% perceptive analysis so you can get their tribe's understanding of the lingo. Go listen to Black Thought, that son of Philly, right? He ain't no average spitter. When you listen to these guys, you got to know that they also code flipping. Hip hop is old tribal code flipping. If you go to YouTube, type in Gopher Indians underdog, and you're going to see how they made mockery of the rappers, where they had a little Indian on underdog. He's supposed to be rapping, but he's talking about Igadaka Bukadaka Dikabaka Boo. Gibberish. Mumble rap. As it was in the beginning, it always comes back full circle. One thing about them tables, they don't stop turning. And my mama say, turnabout is fair play. If they done it to you first, you got the right to do it back to them. Except you can't start no war. right? You got artists all over the country with skills, and they promote trash. The artists came out and told us about the industry meeting in 91 when they said they'd take control of the music industry, the rap, and steer what the people is digesting as the music on the drum beat. So they're using the music to turn us against ourselves. So what happened? The evolution of rap happened. The rappers started mumbling. Why did they start mumbling? Because the industry is controlling the narrative, so they can't really give the report they want to give on what's going on in the hood. So they so know to conceal it in mumbles. They even got cartoons about us mumbling. They made cartoons about us mumbling, but they making fun of us, but we think that they just punning us. No big pun intended. Spitting bars. Right? So you got that Puerto Rican prince up there with that rapid fire verbals. And then all of a sudden he just dropped dead. Come on, man. Biggie, a rap phenomenon. Sad affair. But when you look at the controlling hands behind the scenes, no. They similar but different. Rosicrucians and the Templars is different. Templars became known as Vikings, and over here we call them Hell's Angels. Nomads on the land that was given the jurisdiction authority by Big Mama to roam as nomads when they was riding horses. Now they ride steel horses. And when the tribes give the call, you're going to hear these motorcycles rumbling across the land. They coming. They already in treaties with vice lords, with stones, with crips, with bloods. Somebody had to be wise enough to stop the bloodshed, because we was being used to fight against each other. You got to go back to the 70s. You got to go study who was the Weather Underground. Right? We don't know this stuff. If you don't know who the Weather Underground is, then you won't even know about the Black Liberation Army. Then you won't ever even understand what Joseph SikApe was doing. Then it's going to really confuse you that Charles Manson never told nobody to kill nobody, but they all pinned it on him because he didn't want to start a race war. Right? They've been using us against each other, and the whole time they look like us and they ain't us. That's sad. And only the ones with pale faces that hold key positions in government get to see the real dirty players. And they all get shocked when they get there. They all be surprised. They never thought that the leaders of these secret societies was some crispy, dark, nappy-head, red-eyed Negroes. And when they looking at them, they saying they look like they don't even have a soul. Bobby Hemmett called them human artificial. Then go back to what Bobby Hemmett said. He said, "Hey, was it long before that cracker? They was it long for that cracker. They came in with original creation." Right? Look. Charles Manson, Joseph SikApe, was trained by the best friend of Jim Jones, who was a CIA MK Ultra trainer, handler. He went into San Quentin in the early 60s. Both Joseph SikApe was trained by him, and Charles Manson. He told Charles Manson how to use LSD and mushrooms in order to use it as a controlling mechanism by influencing the perception of the youth who's taking these substances. Whereas Joseph Sinkyu was trained in military operations and military control tactics, right? So they're using two different MK Ultra methods of control. That's so that they can appear to be trained by two different people, but the same person knew both of them. The original writer of MK Ultra Mind Control was a guy named Dr. Estabrooks. Estabrooks developed a hypnotic technique where one person can be implanted with a message for another person and never know he delivered the message or that he had the message, and the other person say a key word, get the message, say another key word, and the other person don't know he gave it to him. Right? All that's MK Ultra. So they tasked Charles Manson with starting or forming a middle-class urban Caucasian community to rage in this race war against Joseph Sinkyu, who they wanted to go out and recruit members, estranged members of the Panthers and other teenage and college age brothers who was disenfranchised with the system, and they was supposed to meet in California and LA and fight out between Manson's group and Sinkyu's group. They rose up a couple years apart because Manson got out of prison first. And Manson started telling his followers what the government was planning. He was the first leak. He was the first leak in the government scheme to use the people to fabricate this race war called Helter Skelter. And he was telling them how they was going to use the fluoride to poison the water. He was giving them the whole MK Ultra rundown of the control measures that they would be using to call the masses. And they wanted to foment this race war so that they can come in and resolve the matter. Once they come in and resolve the matter, then they got the pale face and the red face or brown face in their service like they did in the Civil War. It's just a repeat, right? And so when they realized that Charles Manson became a liability, he went rogue. That's right. When he became a liability, the CIA said, we got to deal with him. So they sent this brother who was a FBI agent, not a brother like Brownskin, this dude named Tex. And if you go back and you read the original police reports, all of the girls said, Tex said Charlie wanted us to kill the La Bianca and the Tates. Charlie never told us, right? And both murders, the second murder, they said Charles Manson came, but he didn't stay. But that's because he was never there. He was still out at what they called the People's Ranch, where he was teaching these middle-class runaways and refugees about the inner workings of this corrupt system and the things that he had learned from his coach in MK Ultra, because he thought he had Manson under his total control. He was freely giving him information that he wouldn't have otherwise been privy to. He wouldn't have gave it. Now, the pictures, they always show him in the picture with the teacher, the coach, the one who trained Sinkyu and the one who trained Manson. It's the same guy. He's in a picture with Jim Jones. But if you look in the caption, everybody in the picture named except him. It's 6 people in the picture, 5 people named. It's 3 people in the picture, 2 people named. They never give his name in none of the captions of the picture because he was an MK Ultra government operative and handler designed to go out and recruit what they called the generals to foment the race war. And this is why Charles Manson kept saying they're trying to start a race war. And then the news media said Charles Manson said he came to start a race war. And they lying on him. They showing what he's saying, and then they telling us what to believe from what he said. And the general public fell for it, and the jury convicted him, and he ain't never told nobody to kill nothing. As a matter of fact, he used to tell them that they need to be one with nature if they wanted to escape this thing that was coming. And if they don't tune in to nature, they will not be able to find an escape. And now all of a sudden he's a serial killer. They just blew SikApe up because they couldn't trust him in the joint because he was too good at what he did. And they didn't want no brother like that teaching brothers in the penitentiary how to be that effective. And if he could send 5 of them out to be as effective as him, he could have took over the whole West Coast. So they just went on and blew him on up. Blowed him all the way off the map. Patty Hearst just got lucky and escaped from the raft. Right? But she went to prison. Jimmy Carter gave her a pardon because they came in and exposed the connection to MK Ultra, and then they started saying that Joseph SikApe used mind control on Patty Hearst. You damn right he did. He learned it from your government officials in your military, and your operations, your MK Ultra. That's why he showed mind control her. Right? That's why she was able to get a pardon. Because they call that in law irresistible impulse. The inability to conform your conduct to the requirements of the law due to external circumstances or situations. She's exempt under the law from criminal activity when it's under duress. It's the same as if the government create a crime and they recruit you to be partners in the crime with them. They can't do that. That's entrapment. Every one of these leaders we talking about, whether it's Angel Bay, whether it's